give people some time to tune in, as usual.
Grand rising to the family.
hmm Let people tune in.
Yes, yes, yes. I think we need a new word other than grand rising.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
good. You good with
they
the you
trying
good. You good with the lingua, man.
they, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I got to sit down with
give
the
us that new
linguist,
word, man.
with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
linguist
yeah.
gods, because they done ran grand rising into the
To the
ground,
ground.
man. It's over.
But
Yes,
if
sir.
let me
It
tell
was
you
fun
something,
while it
man.
lasted.
Let me tell you
Right.
something. No, let me tell you, Red Pill. If anyone can come up with a new lingua, it'll be you, bro.
Yes, sir. That's red pill.
Yeah, that's Red Pill all day. If you got some new lyrics for that, go ahead, man. I'm sure it'll be popular within a year, man.
Right.
I'm gonna sit. Yeah, I'm gonna sit with it under the pomegranate tree.
Yes, right. Yeah,
I'm gonna go
man.
walk barefoot through Atlanta and come back with a new term.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
right, right, right.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, brother Red Pill, man, that was a fantastic interview you did. I caught the entirety on that.
Oh,
Uh,
Monday.
yes, sir. That was great, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was
Right.
really feeling that.
Right. That's right.
Okay, yeah, people are tuning in. Bless up everyone tuning in.
Big up to the family.
We got folks on YouTube tuning in, folks on Facebook tuning in, and folks on X tuning in as well. And again, people, we do this because that's where people are congregating, but do not be surprised when we start uh, funneling out to our own sites as people get used to this show every Wednesday. I got some messages, Anthony and Red Pill, that like when we don't broadcast, people feel like they're missing something, like they miss their family for that day, man. So
Right.
a lot of people tune into this religiously. They say it's their morning wake up call for health and wealth on Mondays and Wednesdays. So
And
I
as it
know how you
should
feel
be.
because I feel the same way.
As it
yeah,
should be.
man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoy it, man. I'm glad we're bringing value to people. So we're gonna give a couple minutes for people to tune on in. And today, what we could do is this can be a nice call-in day for people to ask whatever questions they may have. We're gonna go over some forex charts, some forex trades, man, and we'll look at my stocks. And what I might do is uh, purchase another my stock Clydestone today for the people, so that the people can see.
Mhm.
Uh, what the purchasing looks like. So, we'll go ahead and do that, man. Um, just to give people functional example of how you actually go do it, because I have people emailing all the time asking me how they can get some of these African stocks, and they want me to walk them through, and I tell them there's video on it, but I think people like to have their hand held. So today I may hold some hands today, show y'all exactly the quickest way that and it's not the only way that you can really, you're getting stablecoin into your wallet. And once you do that, then you're able to purchase the stock that you want. Um, let me see. But brother Red Pill, brother Anthony, please feel free to chime in. You guys got anything going on? What are you all thinking about some of these investments that we've been talking about? Some of these AI stocks, some of these African stocks. Love to hear y'all's opinion on that.
Yeah, the last program, a couple programs ago, the sister, we got some good participation with the audience, man. A sister had made contact because Clyde's was down, and the sister made contact, and she reported that they would be up the following Monday. So we appreciate the participation by the audience. I don't know if you remember that, brother Hall.
Yes, yes, you're talking about the powerful Kai Wilson.
Yeah, that was Kai, right? Yeah,
Yeah, Kai
yeah,
Wilson went ahead and reached out to the CEO for us,
right.
and the CEO let us know the exact date that we would be able to buy the stock. And on that day, it was 2 Mondays ago. And on that morning, I woke up when the market opened, which is 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on MyStocks.Africa, and went ahead and purchased some nice amount of shares of Clydestone, which have gone up. And we'll go over that. We'll go over all that. So yeah, how's your portfolio looking like these days, brother Anthony?
It's rising, my brother. It's steadily rising, and so on both ends. So and you all can give us the status of your portfolio out there by contacting us and let us know what you're feeling and what you're looking like. Well, mine is rising, my brother.
Exactly. And what is it? Is it the Clydestone that you are mainly dealing with?
On my stock, yeah. With you mentioned one other on my stock. What was the other one that you introduced to
Oh,
me?
okay. Yeah, it's a Nigerian stock. I'm gonna pull it all up for y'all.
Right. Okay.
I am gonna pull it up for y'all, and we can take a look at it, and we can look at some of these forex charts as well, and take it from there.
Saw a
So
steady a rise with Bitcoin as well, man. What are you seeing there?
yeah, so
Yeah.
uh, you know the cryptocurrencies are pumping. They tend to pump at the same time,
Right.
and I can show you all some of these charts as to what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. So let's see. Let me go ahead and show you all some of these cryptocurrency charts, and we can get into that right now. As a matter of
Crypto
fact,
got me in a casino right now.
yeah,
Right.
we've been dollar cost averaging uh, Bitcoin since 2011, man, and it's like uh, it's been on and off. I went very, very strong on it for the first 10 years,
That's right.
from like 2011 to 2021. Then I, diversified and what have you. But now I traded on Forex as well too. Dollar cost averaging would be the safest thing to do.
Hmm.
I'm less risk averse than most people because I realize that fortune favors the bold. And so, I put my seeds into many different types of soil, and then wait for the tree to grow. So I'm gonna show you all right now some of these trades I'm in reference to crypto, and then you'll be able to see how crypto has risen and fallen over the last few weeks, and you can make your own assessment. So let me go ahead and share that with you all, and we can look at it. Yeah, we have enough people tuned in that we can start getting into this, and I think before we get into it, let me see what people are saying. Let me share that with you all. And then I will also put the StreamYard link in my chat. I think this is going to go to my YouTube. And
I'll
this is where
copy
you
it
all
and
can
put it in
call
mine.
in. Yes, exactly. Oh, it's just it's the URL, Phil. All you got to do is copy and paste the URL that
Oh,
you're on
okay.
right now. Yeah, just copy and paste that. And then that's where they can call in.
Got it.
And I'll be very happy to take call-ins today. People can chop it up, see what people are thinking, see how people are feeling, see how people are doing with this money talk. Yeah, I've just shared it to my YouTube. We'll call in, and I'm going to go ahead and share it to my Facebook as well. And then, people can call in, man, live. You don't necessarily even have to be on the camera if you don't want to be. If you just want to be audio, you can. Just turn off your camera, but you can turn on your camera. It's always good to see people if you want. But either way, we're here for the information. So get let me get this for you all on my Facebook. Red Pill, what you got going on, man?
Right now, the crypto got me in the casino, rolling the
Okay.
dice. Yeah, I'm
Is there
tapping in.
any is there any crypto in particular you're looking at?
Well, my Bitcoin been going crazy.
Mhm.
and automatically that just took me over to the shit coins.
Okay.
Uh, I caught one real late. It was going crazy. This one, I think it's called 7M Toad. It was
Okay.
going, yeah, it was going stupid. And one thing
Okay.
that I noticed too, this is a new thing that I've been doing. I used the AI. I was
Mhm.
using ChatGPT to read some of the charts with me.
Okay.
So pistachio, Cupsy, and Mooly, some of the shit coins that I was looking at, they've been going crazy,
Okay.
you know. And the AI has been able to walk with me. It's been a better kind of like a financial advisor on the coins, a little bit better than the average, Discord room that I listen to,
Okay.
you know.
All right. All right. Someone says, "All right. Greetings, brothers. Big up, Kai. Yeah, some of those like what they call the meme coins.
Well,
Yeah, they
meme
can blow
coins,
up.
right?
Yeah, they can blow up.
So yeah, this coin pistachio went up 308%, three
In what?
hundred and 8,000%. You
Yeah.
know, and it's on pump.fun. So people are going, the meme coins are just doing what the meme coins do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Last night's Techno Tuesday episode, I have to edit it. There was a copyright issue, and I'm actually in the editing process right now. So once we remove that segment, then it will be unblocked. But right now it's been blocked because of the we played a Super Friends clip where they were actually I played a clip from 1973 for Super Friends, a cartoon, and I promise you, verbatim, they were talking about the AI. They were talking about the effects of AI and how it was going to put people in a stupor and basically change society. And literally, it has come through. This is the same year that hip hop was created, mind you. This is the same year that the Knicks won the last championship, 1973. So it was very eerie to listen to it. But yeah, that's what's up.
Wow.
okay.
Hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
this is not financial advice, by the way. I'm not giving anybody no financial advice on these meme coins. This is just something that I decided to jump in because I was looking for a quick flip, you
Mhm.
know. But yeah, my Bitcoin is going up, and high tides rise all boats. So I'm definitely looking at the crypto, and there's just a renewed, you know what I mean? There's a renewed
Mhm.
sense of this is gonna be that train that everybody's been waiting for. So with this musical project that I put out now, NFTs are becoming, I'm beginning to look at the NFTs now. Uh, just that whole revival right there. I'm here for it.
Okay. Excellent, man. So let's look at some crypto charts. So I'm gonna show you all how to read these charts using crypto as an example. So why don't we do that? Uh, to let you all know what's going on with crypto and what it's looking like. So I'm gonna show you all my Hugo's Way. I'm in a trade right now that I'm monitoring that I got out. That's the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. You all can see that, right? Can you all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But let's get look at some of these cryptos. So I'm in Ethereum right now, and if you look at the weekly on Ethereum, what do we see now? This may look like uh, some foreign language to somebody, or something that just looks crazy for people to interpret. But I can break it down a little bit. So we're looking at these. We're getting what you call an eagle's eye view of the forest, right? We're not walking in the forest, we're flying above the forest with these bigger time frames. These are the monthly This is the monthly time frame, which is the biggest time frame you'll see in the charts. Now, what does that mean? That means that every single one of these candles represents a month. So That's this month, August. This is the month before. That's July. That's June. May and April, and this is so forth and so on, right? So these are wide time frames, but it gives you a sense of how the charts are moving. And then we have this thing here called the TDI, which is also known as an RSI, which is Relative Strength Index. It lets you know when something is sold too much and when something is bought too much. So, in other words, it's reached this high here with this like little mountain peak here, and then it reaches its low here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you see these little curves on the black line get close to these blue bands or outside the blue bands, right? These are what we call in the trading world, we call these shark fins. So you see a top shark fin, and then we say this is a bottom shark fin. Okay, what do
Mm-hmm.
we notice? We notice that every single time, and then we have these lines are called EMAs, which are exponential moving averages. There's different numbers for them, and we have different colors to signify the numbers. What you start to notice is that over time, different currencies or cryptos or whatever, they like to settle and bounce off of. And I explain it this way so that you can understand it like I'm explaining it to a 10-year-old. You'll see that every time it hits this brown line here, it's like a trampoline effect, right? Right here. And then it coincides with a shark fin and then it bounces up. Well, in my trading, what I do is I use first principles thinking, which is basically what are the immutable laws of finance and commerce and money. The immutable law, no matter what economic system you are in, whether it be capitalism, crony capitalism, capitalism mixed with socialism, socialism mixed with capitalism, communism, anarcho capitalism, Keynesian economics, uh, Milton Friedman economics, Austrian economics, the marketplace in the hood, the marketplace in the Caribbean, wherever in the world, the rules are the same. And the rules are very simple: buy low, sell high. Does everyone get that? I want to make sure everyone heard me and understands that before we move forward. Does everybody get that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're loud
Buy
and
low,
clear.
sell high. Okay. All right, good. So, on and someone wants to ask about the oil, so we'll get into that. So buy low, sell high. Well, every single time that the price gets here, that's where it's low, right? You see it historically. The last time it did that was, well, here's the time it did that. This was June 2022. Time after that, April 2025, and now we are in August 2026. So it kind of does it every couple years. So every couple years, Ethereum hits a low. But if you catch it at the low, that means that you'll be printing money for a couple years before it goes down again. This is as simple as you can see it. Okay? So I was very aware that Ethereum was at a low. We can look at Bitcoin and see the same thing. But I just wanted to show you this because this is a trade I'm in right now. I'm not in Bitcoin, I'm in Ethereum. Why am I in Ethereum? I'm in Ethereum because what I realized over the years is that like Bitcoin is known as the king of crypto, but uh, Ethereum has had actually a faster rise in terms of percentage. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So I've always noticed in the bull markets that Ethereum would be going even more crazy than Bitcoin in terms of percentage rise. So I decided that if I'm going to trade at least one crypto, it's got to be Ethereum. And I would do that over Bitcoin because what they do is they mimic each other. Okay. Ethereum and Bitcoin tend to mimic each other in terms of whenever one goes up, the other one goes up as well. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, we got Brother Moby on. So, Brother Moby, hold on a second. We're just analyzing the charts, and we'll get to you shortly.
Of
So,
course, I like the knowledge.
yeah. So, uh, when we look at it, we see that I got in. Every green line is an entry, and every pink line is a stop Other words, the trade will stop. But you'll notice that my entry is protected because my stop is above my entry on this buy, which means that I'm in a no risk trade. That's the type of trade you want to be in, right? And if you notice, so if you really look at the daily chart, look at my entries. I'm in here, and this big blue line is all of this is profit. Anything above my entry is profit. I'm printing money. I'm able to look at the chart and I'm able to see a shark fin low here. And I was able to enter around here. But you could see it consolidated for many, many days. You just had to be patient and then it pays off. You get in on this, you're printing, a lot of money. And so this is what's happening with Ethereum. I'm going to pull up Bitcoin, and I plan to be in this trade for the next 2 years, by the way. Okay. So if you look at Bitcoin, what I'm about to pull up for you all to look at, you're going to see the same thing. You see it? There
Mm-hmm.
we are. That's the weekly. You see Bitcoin?
Yep.
This is Bitcoin right here. And you see this big blue? Whoever got in here has just made a lot of money off of Bitcoin. Just like I got in low on Ethereum. And you would see, if I got in here, you would have seen me here with green lines here. And then my pink line, which is my stop loss, would be above my green. That's where you always want to be when you're trading, so that you're at a no risk trade and you can go ahead and do more trades because you know that you can't lose any money here. And so I plan to be in this trade. So let's look at Bitcoin. If we look at Bitcoin's monthly, here's the last time it hit a shark fin was here, right there. And it came off of the 100, off of below, just a little bit below what we call the water, which is the 50, and this brown is the 100 EMA, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we see a shark fin right here, y'all. Anytime y'all see a shark fin on the big time frames, it's get ready to buy. Okay, if you see a shark fin, it's buy time. If you see a high shark fin, it's sell time. But we like to do it consistent with where the EMAs are. So something is always in a buy when you go to the monthly and you see that the EMAs, all the different colors, are above the white. That's just a rule. Okay, when they're below the white, it's in a sell position. So when it's in a buy position, you're just looking for the lows and to get in on the buys there. Okay, and so Bitcoin gave us another low with shark fins here on the monthly chart. It doesn't get any better than that, because when you get into this, from this is from 2022. Anyone who got into this low right here and hit buy printed money for the last 4 years, y'all. 4 years. So I plan to be in this buy for like 4 years if I can. Okay. Now I'm in another crypto called Zcash. What is Zcash? A lot of people like Zcash these days because it's completely private. Bitcoin can be traced. Some of these, a lot of these don't have a lot of privacy in terms of like who buys what, and so Zcash cannot be traced. This is what it's being marketed as, and so a lot of people have gotten interested in Zcash, and so of course, knowing that the crypto was turning around in terms of it being bearish season, which means the price is going down, I knew that bullish season was upon us because I saw the lows. This is very helpful. So I know when things are about to turn around before most people do. I don't have to watch the news. I don't have to listen to any pundits. I can just read the chart and say, oh, Bitcoin is at a low here. That means it's about to turn around sometime soon. Every time it's at a low, it turns around, y'all. So, I mean, we can go back years and we'll see the same behavior. Every time you see a shark fin low, here's one right here. See it there? Boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's a low. That's a low right there. And then we're at another low, which means that crypto is going up. If you were going to dollar cost average Bitcoin, this would be a good time to do it because you're still at the low. Okay. Um, so I'm going to show you all Zcash. My entry with Zcash was crazy. Um, you see me all the way down here. So I was just sitting and waiting like a sniper because I knew the Zcash was already at the low on the weekly chart. I believe I caught it on the weekly, or was it the daily chart? Yeah, I caught. Yeah, he gave us a shark fin. Do you see the shark fin here, y'all?
Big shark fin.
You see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's an upside down shark fin, right? I saw it here, which let me know this is most likely going up. So it consolidated for some time, but all it did was just give you W's, higher W's, which let me know this is going up. You see my entries all here, all this green is me entering, boom, 21,000 pips. Now, let me be clear with you all. The majority of people who do Forex, they're celebrating and having a party when they have 25 pips, plus 25 pips. But the way I trade big for the long term. I don't do 2 minute trades. I don't do 2 hour trades. I get into a trade and I'm looking to stay in the trade for a year. And that's why you start seeing me with these types of numbers, 21,000 pips, 50,000 pips, 100,000 pips. If you were to tell people these types of pips that I'm getting, they wouldn't believe it unless they actually saw it, those who do Forex, because this is not normal. The reason why it's not normal is because most people are literally trading the 5 minute chart. But the 5 minute, 15 minute chart, all that is just too much volatility, man. And it just doesn't work. People end up losing money. So if you want to decrease your risk of losing money, then you decrease your volatility. Okay. So this is key. The higher time frames give you a decrease in volatility. The lower side time frames give you too much volatility, which means that it does not give you enough predictability. We're in this game for predictability. You do not want to be in this game and not have any predictability. Okay? So anyone who teaches you to do Forex and they got you on the 5 minute chart, in the 10 minute, in the 15 minute chart, or even the 1 hour chart as your analysis, you're going to be losing your money. Okay? That's going to make you lose your money. Smaller time frames. That is like a rule that everyone should actually embrace. Do not trade the smaller time frames. Someone else tried to call in SLJ. Oh, all right. Um, so you want the bigger time frames, and then what happens is that once you learn how to do this properly by using the bigger time frames, you get into trades, and every day you're just printing money, and you're printing this money for months or years, and you can cash out at any time you want and take money from the market. Let's just say you need a quick 5 grand, you can just cash out your 5 grand, and it's you get it immediately. You know what I mean? So it's like um this is the way to go if you know what you're doing. Okay, so those are the two cryptos that I'm in, and I'm making out like a bandit. Basically, we're just robbing the bank, and we're doing it in a legal way, right? um let's look at some of the heavy metals I'm in, see how they're doing. So this is silver. I'm up 1200 pips. I got in here, protected trade. As you see, I was able to catch the low because here. Does everyone see this right here? This is very important. Another another shark fin, low, looked like coming off the 100, and all I did was I just entered, and then I protected my trade. So I can't lose any money on this trade. And this is where you want to be. You want to be in a situation on every trade where you can't lose money. So you want to cover your trade. That's part of my technique as well. Platinum, I'm in platinum, and I'm in profit with 3,500 pips. And each pip represents monetary value depending on how much you put on it, right? So let's just say I had $1 for each pip. Well, that'd be $3,500, right? So just look at that right there. This is an entry, seeing the lows being here. Remember, economics is buy low, sell high. So you always want to get in on the low, and when you get on the low, it just starts going high. As long as you got in on the low, just like they'll tell you, oh, the housing market has bottomed out, which means that these are the lowest prices for houses you're going to get. So if you're someone who buys houses and sells them for profit, you want to get them when what they say, the market is at the bottom, because you want to sell at the top. Buy low, sell high. Always remember that. Buy low, sell high. These are my buys. I bought low. Where's the low? Here. Buy low. We sell when price gets up here. Okay? And we sell high. Buy low, sell high. Okay? So I showed you silver, platinum, gold. This is from, I'm giving you continuation of my charts from last week just to show you all where I'm at. Gold went crazy. Look at gold. And we can look at the behavior of gold. Go to the weekly and it tells the story very well, right? If you're watching the 15-minute, 30, you're not going to understand what's happening because you're just trying to understand the forest from like, ground level view. You want to be on at the sky view, which is the bigger time frame to understand what's really happening with gold. Look at gold. Remember, every single candle is 1 week. Okay? And so I was able to see the low on the 1 week chart. I catch that low here and hit buy. Buy low, sell high. Boom. That's why you see me with 4,400 pips. And I didn't even go in heavy on this one. Okay? So that's it here. I mean, there's several other trades that I'm in. I mean, Euro, Japanese yen, 545 pips. Microsoft went crazy for me. See, Microsoft, I caught Microsoft on the monthly low. You all listen, if you can catch anything on the monthly low, that means you're going to be eating for 2 years off of a trade. Why am I saying that? You see this low right here on the monthly? See, this is the monthly chart, and that's a low. And it looked like it even formed a W on the monthly. That's crazy. I'm not letting go of this trade. Look at this. And then check it out. The last time that we had a shark fin, a true shark fin, was here. See that?
Mm-hmm.
That's in 2022, y'all. So there are people who know what they're doing who've been sitting in this Microsoft trade for the last 4 years, y'all. Printing money as price just goes up. See, people are making money, they just don't tell you how they're making it. And they're quiet and they keep to themselves because they don't want anyone to know. The difference with this show is we want you to know. I want you to know how people's making money. I want you to know how other people's at the beach all day long, chilling and traveling all over the world while you're doing your 9 to 5, because no one ever sat down and taught you this. No one ever sat down and taught you how you can pull money from the market in a real way. Not like this is not like this is not a demo account. This is not theory. This is not ideas. The reason why I went hard on learning Forex is because the proposition is that you can make money quietly from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of a beach. Like right now, I'm sitting in my mango orchard with my brethren right now. We're just sitting there chilling. You understand what I'm saying? And we're just showing you how you can make money while other people are at a 9 to 5, right? This is important for us to learn and for us to teach our children so that we are not relegated to being wage slaves. This is what this show is all about. If you want to have a job, that's fine because it deals with cash flow. But all of us should be looking to be economically free and pass this on to their children. Now, I started doing Forex in like 2002, y'all, but I was taught wrong. I went to one of these like multi-level marketing companies that were teaching Forex, and the people teaching Forex were watching like they were wearing like gold watches and shiny suits to make you feel like they had money, you know what I mean? But they were really making money from selling you the courses. Because when I go back and think about it, they were only teaching you how to trade from the 1 hour chart, which is a guaranteed way, in the 15-minute chart, which is a guaranteed way to lose your money because you're not able to see the big picture. You got to be able to see the big picture and the trend of how the chart is moving. The only way you can do that is with the daily, weekly, and monthly charts, y'all. I don't know how more I can stress that, but that's just very, very important. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm just showing you crazy, crazy profits. When I was learning Forex, they'd be like, oh, when you get 20, 25 pips, cash out or whatever. And 20, 25 pips plus 20, 25 pips for me is disgusting. That's not like a day's work to me. That's not anything for me that I would brag about. You want to start dealing with hundreds of thousands of pips, y'all. Tens of thousands of pips, at least thousands of pips. And the only way you can really do that reliably is on the big time frames. But they don't teach you this. I don't know if it's on purpose or what. This is what I've discovered through trial and error and my own self education. Okay? It's the big time frames that you want to use, and this is how it pans out. Let's see how Tesla. Okay, Tesla is still in profit. It went down a little bit today, but then it went back up. And as you can see, all my trades are protected. So we're not worried about anything with Tesla. Um, what else we got going on? So I showed you all gold. So I'm in US dollar, Japanese yen. I got in it again, and we're in profit. And I'm actually looking for it to come down a little bit so I can do some more entries. I actually cashed out in the morning because it was going down, and I went ahead and took my profit, and I've entered again because the signals are looking good. Um, okay, this is the Japanese. This is the Japanese index, one of my favorite ones. What do we see? We see a shark fin here,
Mm.
right there, right there. So I got in, and I went in very heavy, y'all. Very, very heavy. You see me in here, all this green. So I'm in early, and I hit them with like 15 trades. And it's all in profit now. You see 54,000 pips. So I'm going to tell y'all what I'm doing with this. If things go right and it takes off the way it needs to take off, where we start to see a blue candle up around here, I would hazard a guess that by the time the price is up here, as long as this keeps going in the direction where I need it to go, I probably will hit a record for myself with 1,000,000 pips this way.
Wow.
Okay. The most pips I've ever gotten in one chart is 700,000 pips. But I can tell you that if I am able to clear this, if this clears today or tomorrow past this level, and it just keeps doing what I think it's going to do, yeah, I'll take a snapshot if I get 1,000,000 pips out of this, y'all. Okay. And this is just based on everything that I'm talking about, you know? And it looks like the NASDAQ is getting ready. I was in the NASDAQ earlier. I got out. I wanted to reset, and it looks like the NASDAQ is doing a little something right now. So I might get into the NASDAQ a little bit later today. Okay. So this is what we got. And I'm going to hit another trade right now as we speak with the US dollar, Japanese yen. Right there. And I'm really waiting for price to go down so that I can, I need price to go down so that I can enter more trades. Okay. All right. So that's what we got going on, y'all, with Forex. Let me see if people got any questions that I can answer. But this is going to be very good education for people to really understand. So pips is just, someone said, what's pips? Pips is just a measurement in Forex, and you can choose how valuable a pip is for you based on what they call lot size. And for some people, a pip is a penny. For some people, a pip is $1. Sometimes a pip is $10. It just depends on what you choose for your money side. But what's more important is the number of pips that you have, showing how good you are at the trading, because the number of pips that you have is showing how profitable that you are. So of course, it's going to matter if it's 1 cent or $1, but it doesn't really matter. You want somebody who's talking to you about pips to have high pippage. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
As Brother Red Pill would say, Gladys Knight and the Pips. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that like the person actually knows how to collect money out of this market, and then the monetary value becomes meaningless because you can attach when you go into the trade, you can make it as valuable as you want. You can make a pip $1,000 per pip. You know what I mean? If I made it $1,000 per pip, I'm plus 5.4. That would be 5 point or $6,000 right now, what you're looking at. So that's just what a pip is. It is a unit of measurement of your forex trade. Okay. Um, Someone says run that. Good brother right here. This is a brother I know online. I haven't met him personally, but this brother's on top of it. Nat Negas Cole. Big up to Nat Negas Cole, man. He's on top of this whole trading, man. Um, let's look at Intel. See if Intel's ready.
Let me ask you a
Okay.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, over the course of the last few days, I would
Yes,
say
sir.
we've been entertaining the idea of preparedness. The Jackson, Indiana thing was a telltale. It was a lesson for all of us who've been paying attention.
You mean Gary?
Gary,
Gary, Indi-
Indiana.
yeah,
So we've been more proactive with collecting information offline, and I
yeah.
formed a group called Common Unity, right?
Okay.
And things are really coming together fast, and the vision is starting to coalesce quickly, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you, and it's not really a question, it's more like an affirmation that, let's say that we were to form an off-grid community and get
Mm-hmm.
about 100 to 250 people together and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to hire, or if we were to acquire 5 to 6 powerful traders such as yourself, right? Would
Mm-hmm.
that be a great leverage for those of us that are just wanting to live off land and not be in the quote unquote hamster wheel, but basically get into investments, become a digital nomad, and start running up a bag, on multiple markets? Is that like a viable
Yeah.
solution right now in this world?
Yeah. I mean, what you just described is my life, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you just described. Yeah. I mean, if you come to my house, I live on a well, and I have solar with batteries, so I'm off grid myself, and I live, in an orchard, man, and I trade and I have businesses.
Right.
I think anyone can do it. It just requires focus, um, and it allows you to live anywhere in the world. The great thing about trading. So here's the thing that people need to understand. What they don't tell you about trading is that when you first start trading, you don't quit your job or anything like that because we have monthly bills, and your job is just taking care of your cash flow. Trading and investing. So this is what I would say. The most logical thing for someone to do, and you asked a great question. you have you have to solve your money problem in terms of cash flow. That means that the money that you need monthly to pay your rent or your mortgage, groceries for you and your family, that type of stuff, which is a constant bill, right? So you have this constant bill that you have. So you have to address that constant bill. And what you want is you want your income in the form of business ownership or a job to cover those bills and to have money left over.
Yes.
Okay? That money left over, and I have a formula for that, and you all could just you know, like use it if you want, is that you should at least have 20% of whatever money you make weekly, monthly, set aside for investing. 20%. Now, those of us, if you're single, like you don't have a family, don't have children, it should be closer to 50 to 80%, as far as
Mm.
I'm concerned. Like, if my son was 18 years old and he was asking me advice, this is advice that I would give him. I would say, listen, as you endeavor to, get a job, and I mean, I don't plan for my son to have a job, but let's just say he was going to get a job, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm doing everything I'm doing so my children don't have to work. They can just set up their own businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I raise my children to get a job with somebody else? You know what I mean? Your
Yeah.
children should be taking over your businesses, or you should be teaching them how to invest very early, right? So that they don't have to get a job. Your goal as a parent is really that your child never has to write a resume. You know what I'm saying? That's really should be your goal, right? So if you're single, you certainly, if you're making 1,000 a week, I think you should be investing 500 a week. That's not what I think. Um, if you have a family and all that, I think you should be at least just living off of 80% and then be doing 20% in terms of investment. And so you put that 20% aside and you start learning how to invest. Stocks is the best thing. Forex is more risky, but once you learn Forex, it becomes quite pleasurable, and it's just pure money that you're printing every day. It has stop losses, so you might not, put all of the 20% into that. You ratio it. So of the 20%, you might do 60% stocks. Then you might do 15% forex and maybe another 25% stock options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, the brother asked, "What platform am I using?" That's Hugo's Way. Kai Wilson answered. Big up to Kai Wilson. And at any point, Kai, feel free to call in, Kai, and we can talk about some of the things that you've been doing in terms of investing. I know you've been on Bitcoin for some time and even teaching people about how to get Bitcoin and just teaching people in the community. So feel free to call in, Kai, if you want to call in and chop it up. That would be cool. So
And the brother's asking about XRP, by the way.
yeah, XRP is not really a crypto per se. It's something that banks are using, and they're kind of weird because they have a different type of wallet. They have it was actually pre-mined, so it's not like something that was a really typical investment for crypto. However, if the banks adopt it, then the price is going to go up, and the banks are looking like they want to adopt it for payment systems because it's lightning fast and it like costs nothing to send money, right? So they
Yep.
want to use XRP. So I haven't looked at the XRP chart. I may have the XRP chart here on Hugo's Way. Let me see if XRP is covered here. It might not be. They don't have every single crypto, but if they do, yeah, they have XRP here. That's XRP USD. Let's look at the chart since someone asked. All right, here's XRP, y'all. And I can give you my analysis of XRP. Same thing. Look at it. That was the low, y'all. See that shark fin?
Yeah.
See this big blue candle? It just broke out. And then it's coming back down. So you could even start looking for, all right, look at this. So then I go to so I see a weekly low. Okay. So let me give y'all some free game. XRP is going down on the hourly. Wait, hold on. That's the daily. This is the hourly. Okay, it's going down on the hourly. Here's what you want to do. You Let me give you all some free game and show you all how to make some free money. Because it is at the weekly low. It's just retracing right now. The question is, when do I get back in? You don't want to get back in when it drops, when it's dropping. So, see, it's dropping here.
Yeah.
All right. Here's your entry. Your entry is going to be whenever it happens. I don't know when it's going to happen, but whenever this red line, which is called the 13 EMA, crosses this blue line. Whenever that happens, you enter XRP, and you should probably be eating off of XRP for the next year or two. Okay? I just gave y'all some free game. Just looking at the chart. I'm just telling y'all right now. Go to the 1 hour chart, and whenever the 13 EMA, you have to just set up the 13 EMA, which is what we call the catch up or the blood. And then this is the 50 EMA. Whenever the 13 crosses the 50, This is set up for a trade, okay? Until then, you leave it alone and let it keep dropping. All right. So that's the now. I just gave y'all some free game, and please understand that, like, to get these types of tips, you'd be paying someone thousands of dollars for this, and every week, folks is just getting free game for those who are taking heed, and there are people who are taking heed. So people are making money. So you know, I'm just letting you know about XRP. Wait for that cross to happen, and then you can get into XRP. Okay. Um, Let me see if there's any more questions. I know Amobi has been patiently waiting. We'll get Amobi on and popping at 10 o'clock Eastern, which would be in 3 minutes. That's our engineer for the reverse engineering of the phones. Um, Someone says, are there stocks you never take out? Some of the long terms, when you get out and get back in, what is your mindset to maximize profit and continue to multiply? Yeah, I mean, there are certain stocks that are generational stocks, and these will be stocks that are the leaders of their industry, and particularly of a transformative industry, right? So, information technology would have been Google, and you'd have dollar cost average Google since like what 1995 or
So,
whatever they went public. Um, Amazon, in terms of retail, online retail, they're the number one company. You don't really you you would sell them if you find something that's more explosive, right? But when you find a generational stock, you hold on to it. And I tell the story, and I'm going to answer you, Julian. I always tell this story, but it's very instructive. When I was younger, in around 2000, I think it was 2002. Um, this is, I think, this is when I met Red Pill. Around 2002, I met Red Pill in Miami, in Miami Beach. We were both living in South Beach, living it up as young men,
living
and
it up, living it up.
and when you live in South Beach and you're on the beach, like literally on the beach, on the ocean, uh, on a Tuesday morning, the only people there are either tourists, um,
Or
or
artist.
locals. Yeah, tourists or locals, or people who don't have to work, right? Or people who work a night shift and have the day free. But most of the time, it'll just be people who don't have to work because they took care of their financial situation, right? They're already set. So I would go on the beach, and at this time, I had my own law office, so I went to work whenever I wanted, right? So I'm chilling on the beach on a Tuesday around like noon, and this guy comes up because I had a guitar, and this white man came up to me. He was around 50 years old, and he started playing the guitar with me, and we just started chopping it up. And he asked me what I did, and when I told him that I was a lawyer, he really like opened up. I guess he felt like he could talk to me at that point, based on him think that I wasn't like a bum on the beach, right? So he started telling me how his grandfather invested in Coca-Cola stock in the 1950s, and the grandfather had one son who inherited the stock. um, the grandfather had accumulated a couple, like a million shares of Coca-Cola, because what he did was he dollar cost average, because at the time, Coca-Cola, whether we like it or not, even though it's unhealthy, it became the drink of America, right? It changed the beverage market, right? Coca-Cola. It was transformative in the beverage market, and it became the drink of America. And so he dollar cost averaged it, and then he bequeathed the shares to his son. His son had three children, and the each child got like, I think, 5 million shares. But and this was at the time, and so he was dollar cost averaging all his life Coca-Cola too, because it was a tradition in the family. And I forget, I don't remember the amount of shares he told me, but it was a considerable amount of shares. It was over 1 million shares that he had. And I think Coca-Cola's at like $80 now. So just multiply that. 80 times 1 million. So the guy had like, like at the time, maybe $20 million or whatever it was, but now he's sitting on $80 million from just dollar cost averaging Coca-Cola shares, y'all. So to me, this is actually a better way to do things over the long term. Is what the brother Julian is asking. Is just, you pick a generational company that is ubiquitous, and it is like actually transformative, like Tesla is transformative with electric vehicles. SpaceX is transformative in space industry. Any of these AI memory stocks, SanDisk, Western Digital, they're transformative as well because of AI compute. And you pick the best ones, the top ones, and you just dollar cost average over 20 years, man. And what you're going to have is you're going to have almost like a risk. It's not going to be without risk, but the risk is going to be minimal because you're actually investing in something that's always going to be shooting up. And we know that AI is not going anywhere, it's just going to increase. And so if you do ever sell your stock, you're going to make sure that the money that you get from selling the stock is going to be transferred to something that's even growing faster than, let's say, your Coca-Cola shares, or I'm just using Coca-Cola as an example of, based on this guy that I met. But he was very inspirational and telling, he was laughing because he was like, I don't even drink Coca Cola, but it's just a family tradition. So you see, people have these family traditions, man, that we're completely left out of. And it's because it's a cultural thing. Once you have a culture that, and I'm not talking even like a worldwide or a community culture, I'm talking about a family culture. Like you have to develop a family culture around investing so that your children, like they they view investing like brushing their teeth.
Right.
Like it's just something that we do. You know what I'm saying? So someone says, can I explain dollar cost averaging simply is Ayatoro Kemet. Yeah. So big up to the picture. His profile picture has Baba Asa Hilliard, one of our giants who passed away. Um, Big up to the Hilliard family. Asa Hilliard did a lot of work for us in terms of putting together our history. Um, so Ayatoro, dollar cost averaging is just like picking a stock and buying it every week or every month or every day, irrespective of the price. And you do it over time, and you basically accumulate shares. And after a while, you get a nest egg. And we've had dollar cost averaging calculators. We've done many of those exercises in previous shows. So just look into it. But I advise everyone to dollar cost average, particularly AI stocks. All right. Um, Someone says, "Can I check CWG, the African stock?" Yes, I can. Then we're gonna get to Brother Amobi, y'all. Because someone says, Stan said the black box, and yeah, that's the black box theory. We're gonna get into that. So, let's look at these African stocks. Someone says, look at AWG, and I shall. So I'm going to stop sharing the Forex screen, and let's get to mystocks.africa. Stop screen. Then we're going to get to mystock.africa. All right. Here it is here. All right. See, it says good morning, HERU. Yeah, I like that better. All right. Well, let's just look at the main stock that all of us have been invested in. Let's look at Clydestone. Let's go here. Clydestone. So my Clydestone is up 42%. And we started investing in Clydestone together about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Clydestone hasn't gone up any today. It's a good time to buy. But let's look at this. This is very important for y'all to see this. Clydestone over the last 2 years, the last 3 years has been up 21,500%, y'all. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. In the last year, Clydestone is up 5,790%. That is a 58x. You'd have made 58 times your money. Since January, Clydestone is up 1,300%, which is about 14x your money. So if you bought Clydestone stock and you bought it in January, you'd have made 14 times your money. There's no like legal flips like this, y'all. You know what I mean? All these cats out on the street hustling and trying to flip, they're not making this type of money flipping illegal things. And you end up going to jail for 5, 10 years because no one ever told you how to flip legally, you know? And, all of the culture that we have for black folks in the Western Hemisphere, the music is about celebrating those who are, you know, selling drugs and getting caught basically. You know what I'm saying? And doing jail time and all of that when the same kid could have been taught how to do this.
And
And
bottoming out,
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm
spending all their
saying?
money on lawyers,
Yep. And
giving
so
them right back to the man. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, you're right. And that's why I do this show is to just kind of expose people to like these numbers really do exist and it's legal. It's completely legal to invest. It's just that we're not taught it because we're really, the system has got us black folks as being the source for the jail population. And so of course they market music to us that leads to behaviors that, a non-thinking child, and that's just the qualities of a child. Children don't think far ahead. And so now if they're told that this is the culture that they're in and this is what the people they look up to engage in, you wasted 20 years of your life in a penitentiary because you were trying to flip something that is poisonous to our people. And just the school system really failed you. I would say that the public school system failed you because really the public school system should be teaching everyone how to invest, but they won't because they need you all to be obedient workers. Okay. And so that's why we're doing at Patah Set is we're teaching how you can actually learn things without having to go to these people's universities or their public schools. And we're going to teach it to ourselves because at the end of the day, we can criticize the system as much as we want. But if we do not set up a system of our own, then what are we talking about? Right? It's like what Red Pill said about this off grid community. I wasn't going to wait for a community. I went ahead and did it for myself, right? So I decided that I wanted a large piece of land to live on. And so when I'm in the Caribbean, I bought a large piece of land, acres. I'm in Africa, I'm buying land, or I have land, family land that I haven't accessed. Then when I'm in America, I have to have at least an acre of land to just walk around in and stretch my arms. I can't have my neighbor reaching out the window and touching my windowsill. You know what I mean? We all have a right to have land and grow food and all of that. And so instead of waiting on a, community to do it, I did it myself. And all of you can, don't wait on anybody to do what you know is the right thing to do. And then you'll just serve to be an inspiration for other people. And so
That's right.
you want to have a well and you want to have solar on your house. And then that way, you know, if you think about the people of Gary, Indiana, particularly there are people who own houses in Gary. They don't have electricity right now, and they haven't had electricity for about 2 weeks, and they're waiting for the government officials to do it. Um, and good luck with that. Uh, but imagine the amount of money people who own houses may have wasted on superfluous things where they could have just actually got solar panels and be financing the solar panels instead of like a very expensive car that you don't need because you just want to floss or whatever. The price of solar panel can be the price of a car.
Right.
You get batteries, and then now you've got your electricity solved. Now, here's the thing. This is what I realized is that I wanted to have my own electricity in the form of solar panels because the way they have you set up is from the day you born and the day you die, they want you to rent electricity. So that
Right.
means you'll be 80 years old still paying an electricity bill.
Right.
That's ridiculous. So I decided that's going to stop. I'm going to buy my own solar panels and finance them. I'll pay them off for over 10 years. Then after that, all of my electricity is free. I don't want to be a renter of anything, water for the rest of my life. So, I made sure that where I'm living is a well so I can have my own well system. Big up to the Virgin Islands where they show you to build cisterns for houses so you catch the rainfall, and now you're self sufficient. You're not waiting on the government to turn on the water pipes. Like you don't want to be. Listen, if you know the history of America towards our people, if you're one of our people, you definitely don't want to be like that. Should be that's more important than seeking to get a BMW or get a Mercedes or Jordans or what are these purses that the women like,
Perkins.
Birkins or whatever. Your goal should be wherever you live, you should have your own water source and your own electricity source. If you are a black person or a Native American in America, understand what the American government has done. And if you understood what the American government, the Trail of Tears, uh, things like Little Africa, which they call Black Wall Street in Oklahoma and Tulsa, whatever is happening, Move, where they bombed the whole neighborhood in
Philly.
Philadelphia. This is what they do. And you cannot be dependent on people who've been pernicious against your people from time immemorial. Okay? So
That's
what
right.
you've got to do is you've got to figure out what are the basics that I need. I need food, I need shelter, I need water, I need electricity. Everybody's goal, if you're going to live in America and you decide that that's your future and this is where you want your children to live and your grandchildren to live, it is your duty to solve those basic needs so that you are self-sufficient and not dependent on the United States government, because the United States government has done one thing for our people that is very consistent, and that is let us down.
Mm,
And here's the thing, you only let down if you're expecting something from people. At this point in
right.
our history, you shouldn't expect nothing from these people except for malice. You
For them to
understand?
be who they are, right? The only thing
Exactly.
I
For them to
expect
be
them to do
who
is
they
show their
are.
things.
Yeah, I mean, look at Anthony Fauci. They tried
Right.
to sell him to y'all as your hero, and now he's pleading the fifth when they ask him basic questions, like, you know what I'm saying?
And
Because
then
he was responsible for funding gain of function research at the Wuhan. He funded that.
right.
This thing he funded, and then he also made money from these jabs that they were getting you to take by
Right.
force. You're gonna lose your job unless you take you can't, like, if you are somebody of my skin tone in America and you trust these people, you have a problem with cognition and understanding.
Right. Just
S- s-
overall.
exactly. And so your game plan should be, if you're going to work, your money should be towards investing, grow that money, and then make sure you can live off grid. Get some land in a rural area, get away from the city because you're paying more to live in a city, especially if you're working remotely or you're trading or investing. You don't need to live in the city. You go in the city when you need to. Go live in the
Right.
countryside. Go get a bigger piece of land. The amount of money, like I can tell you all right now, my house that I live in now, if it was by the beach, the same house with the same amount of land, and it was by the beach in Palm Beach, my house would cost probably 10 times more than what it costs now, literally 10x more, just because I want to live by the beach. But guess what? I'd rather pay 10 times less and live in, the countryside and drive to the beach when I need to go to the beach. Why
Right.
should I waste my money just to live next to the beach when I can drive 20 minutes and I'm at the beach? You get what I'm saying? So you have
Yeah.
to start thinking about these things and deciding what's most important to you. And what's most important to me is, if water shuts, I can tell y'all right now, if water shuts down in Florida, HERU has water. If electricity shuts down in Florida, HERU has electricity. I made sure of that because I don't trust these people, and I cannot put my family's future in the hands of people who have nothing but disdain for me and mine. Okay? And so that's just what it is. So, red pill,
I
yeah,
agree.
definitely there should be a community who do it, but don't wait on a community to do it.
I
Whenever you
agree.
can, look for a piece of land in a rural place. You can drive to the city whenever you need to. And the thing about
Right.
Florida, if you're going to live in America, Florida doesn't have state income taxes. You know how much money you save by not paying income taxes?
Right. I
Okay?
think the I think the biggest flex that somebody can have right now, not one of the biggest flex, is how many generators you have. You know?
You mean generators of income or generators for
Well,
electricity?
electricity generators. and then generators of income, of course,
Oh,
income
okay.
streams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And really, most generators are gasoline generators. It's best to have solar panels and batteries. You don't even need a generator.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting in the sun right now, and every drop of sunlight that I'm getting is going to my solar panels, charging my house. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, yeah, it's important to do it. I just want to look at CWG because someone asked for CWG, and let's get into CWG. And then Brother Amobi has been waiting patiently so that we can talk about this reverse engineering work that we're looking to do. CWG. Okay, CWG PLC. That's it right here. That's a Nigerian stock. Let's look at it. Okay, in the past year, it's up 29%. We like to see more than that. In the past month, it's up 2%. We like to see more than that. I like a more explosive stock. In the past 3 years, it's up 4x. I mean, that's not bad, but compare it to Clydestone and some other things that we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
And so, am I going to put $100 into CWG or $100 into Clydestone? I'm going to go with Clydestone. It just has better
Go mine,
performance.
mine. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we are with it. All right. Um, let me let's get to Brother Amobi because we are looking to get into this reverse engineering of the smartphones, and so I'm going to turn it over to Brother Amobi, who's been patiently waiting. Um, Let me just let you all know Church is live and active. The ability to get in to pay for the course is there. There's people who paid for the course. The people who paid for the course, the funds are being sent to Amobi on Thursday. We had a waiting period because we had just started the account, and Amobi will be getting the toolkit for everyone. So there's two payments for the course. The first payment is for the toolkit, and then the second is for the course. And we already have people signed up, and it takes a Moby about 30 days to get the equipment to your doorstep, which will be a packet including a smartphone that will have all the tools for you to take apart, and we'll go over the costs and the fees. But Brother Amobi, I'm going to put the highlight on you and talk to the people, man.
All right. I just want to say good afternoon. What? Good morning to everyone. Um, I enjoyed the knowledge sitting here. So it wasn't nothing for me to sit here and watch. And I love to see our people collaborate. So it's good to see, especially on something as great as this. Um, so we're working on this class. We want to reverse engineer the black box. Everybody carries the black box with them in their pocket. Um, so I wanted to go over what the class is going to look like. It's going to be a 4 week class. The first week, we're probably going to do it on the weekends on a Saturday. It's going to be 3 hour class. And the first week, we're going to take and grab the smartphone that you get in your package. You're going to have tools, you're going to have parts, and we're going to upgrade the phone. The first week we're going to start with what the architecture is, the different parts, stuff like that, and then at the end of the class we're going to break the phone down. The second week we're going to start looking at the different individual parts now that you have out, and testing parts, showing, informing you on your different components. Take questions, troubleshoot. On the third week, we're gonna get down to what's called a motherboard. That's where all your chips and stuff plug into, and gonna do some troubleshooting and some diagnostic and that. You're gonna get a multimeter where you can check for power and storage, extra hardware, so we can upgrade it. So by the time we're finished with week 3, you should be able to upgrade the smartphone. Then week 4, we're gonna. I've created an open source off of Android. I've created an open source operating system. So we're gonna load that on your phone, and at that point, you know, you're gonna be away from Android. That'll be your second phone. So if say worst case scenario, something happens and um, they shut off all cell phones in the United States, you'll be able to communicate. You'll be off the grid. I'm also going to include some uh, applications that would allow us as a group to communicate with each other off the grid too. So all of that is going to be on the phone. Um, at the end of the class, you'll be provided with a certification. Um, at that point, you can take your phone apart, replace parts. You can even start a business doing this, replacing your screens for people. So, you know, as far as my background, I've always been in technology. Um, I started out working on computers in the Virgin Islands on St. Croix, you know, rent to own place. So I had to teach myself how to fix a computer. So I just want everybody to know that everyone has the mental capacity to do it. Everybody has the mental capacity to do anything that I can show you today. It's all about willpower and putting your mind to it. So what I wanted to do is, besides that, let you guys know I'm creating a AI. I just finished trained it this morning. The next class, but it starts with this class. The next class, I'm going to be providing my proprietary AI to that phone. So that AI is going to be able to interact with the phone and everything. So that's what I'm working on now. So it's not just, I always believe as an engineer, building on top of things. So once you get the phone, you get the operating system. All of this is away from the regular ISPs and uh, uh, phone providers or their service providers. So you're going to be outside the grid at that point. But what I'm planning to do is everyone is going to have their local AI. That AI is going to be your AI, you know, and it's going to be networked together with everybody else's phone. So I'm trying to create a whole network and an ecosystem. And whoever sign up for the class, they're going to be the first ones in. They're going to be able to, you know, work on their phone. So it's going to be a wonderful thing.
Moby, when you talk about everyone have their own AI, could you break it down in terms of like the use cases? Does that mean that everyone would have their own like Chat GPT on their phone? That would be,
Yes.
yeah. So can you just talk about that?
Okay. So what I've done is created a small AI that doesn't rely on the data center. What it's going to rely on is the network of the phones. So it's basically it's not behind it's not behind a paywall, and then as it grows, as it gets smarter, you know, um, by you guys using it and it's being networked, you'll always it always belongs to you because it's on the phone, and no one can shut it off. No one can monopolize it. Also, because of the phones connected together, all the AIs can talk to each other also. So it's all about a whole network, a whole ecosystem that I'm building around the phone and the AI. Um, you'll get the AI, it'll be downloaded with an APK file. And once it's downloaded, whatever applications or whatever you want it to do on that phone, it's going to know about the phone. So it's basically going to be automated. So at that point, your phone is going to be automated. So I've just finished, and also, I have AIs, and my AIs will be talking to you guys AIs too. So it's about um, decentralizing the AI service, because that's why I think ChatGPT started with being nonprofit, and
Hmm.
and they swapped on us.
So let's just give some use examples because I think sometimes here I think what happens is sometimes from an engineering level, um, you're such a high level thinker that
Yeah.
sometimes someone who's not an engineer doesn't understand the implications of what you're saying. So let me give you all an example. What he's saying is like right now, like Chat GPT or Grok. Like right now, I pay $50 a month for Grok. Right? If you want to pay for higher level AI like Codex and whatever, you might pay $200 a month. This is what he's saying. He's saying that with the phone that we're going to be breaking apart and putting back together, that phone is yours. The price that you're paying for is not just for the tools to take apart the phone, learn the anatomy of the phone, teach your children the anatomy of the phone. Your children can learn it, put it back together. He's saying that he's improving upon the phone by also giving people an AI agent on the phone so that, for instance, you don't have to hire an architect anymore. If you want to design a house, the AI will be able to design the house for you. If you want to print a flyer or design a flyer, the AI will design the flyer for you. If you want to know about health things, instead of emailing me, you could just type it on your phone. So the AI now becomes something that becomes very useful in your daily activities. Right now, as a matter of fact, I was just speaking to a good brother who has gotten all these AI agents, and his productivity is 1,000% now, to the point where he makes content, and you know that you can have your AI get all of your YouTube login information, and it can take all of your videos, and it can do the editing for you. Like you could just tell it, it'll just do it for you, and you sit down and it'll cut up the first 20 minutes, upload it for you. Like it has the ability to do all of these physical tasks that you're doing digitally, and it'll do it for you. And what Amobi's saying is that he's going to install it on the phone. And so then after the course is over, there'll be another course on the whole AI models and how he built these models and how you can learn how to use it better. But what you're going to have is that you're no longer going to be in the dark about AI. Um, it's going to be learning in a network, just like how Bitcoin is a network, which is a distributed network that no one can take down, and we can communicate with each other without having to go through these people's networks. And so this is what we're doing, and some people may not really understand like how revolutionary this is, but trust me, it's extremely revolutionary. Someone asked a question: how good is it at coding?
Well, I'm training it right now. By the time we get to class, well, all of them have built-in coding in it, but I've reconfigured it, and it gives us a lot more leeway. So I'm going to be trading it on top of. It's at the point maybe 10%, a little 10%. It needs about 10% more to be as good as Chat GPT. Let's put it that way. But then what I'm building out and what I'm training it on, it should surpass that.
Okay, and so you all are going to have access to that with the phones. And let's just go over uh, where you guys would get the information about the course. And of course, um, what you'll be paying for the course will be considered legally a donation, which means that everything that you are paying for the course and to learn engineering is going to be tax deductible. Okay, and that's why we set up a church for you to be able to do that. This is the link here, pataset.church. You go, I'm going to share the page with you all. Um, the brother's letting you know it's going to be 4 3-hour courses where and the fee is for your family, your household. It's not for per individual. It's for your household. So this can cover everyone in your household. And check this out, y'all. We always say we need to do this, we need to do that, to be a powerful people. We're doing it, and so now the question is, are you going to participate now that it's in front of you, right? Um, Here we go. This is the website, pataset.church. and you go to live training. Okay. And by the way, there'll be more live trainings added in the next couple of weeks. After the cell phone reverse engineering training, we'll be having also 3D printing with Ken Eccles, one of our engineers. Then we'll be having the AI automation with Brother Omobi. We'll also be having language therapy with Dr. Obadale Cambone. It's going to go on and on and on. And I'm going to have some civil engineers here, and we're going to learn the science of building bridges, suspension bridges, and all these different types of bridges. So we'll have civil engineers running us through a course on how to do that. We'll also be learning how to build robots. We'll be doing tours to factories. It's quiet as kept, y'all. Every single city has factories in it, and most of these factories give free tours. So, as part of the church, we're having people actually do tours, field trips to factories with your children, all members of Batah Set. Okay, and so here's what it looks like. You go to the training page, and you go to select options. You'll see the phone. You go to select options, and this is actually a huge bargain. Some people may think that it's expensive, but since it's 4 classes, check this out. You choose an option. The first thing is that your initial deposit for the materials. So that would be $550. That includes the phone, y'all, and all of the equipment to take the phone apart and everything necessary to actually do the most. And this is for the family. Okay, this is for your household. Okay, so if you have 4 children, this covers all your 4 children and you and your wife or whoever, right? All right. And then after you receive your digital, I mean, you not digital, your physical materials, including the phone, and then you will go to part two, and then you pay for the final payment for the course, which is $600, and the price will go down based on how many families that we get. Okay, we're trying to get this down to $300, but we would need more people, around maybe 20 families, to sign up to get that type of a price for a Moby's time. But we're looking to start September 19th, but we probably will push it back and we'll update it because we want to make sure that Moby has a time to ship out the materials to people in time. So if we push it down, maybe it'll start sometime in October, the first week of October, but we'll be updating that for the people who've already paid. So there's people who've already paid for this and they're ready, and we're going to update it. And I will be getting a newsletter to you all who've paid, and then the people who've also sent emails expressing interest. The newsletter will encapsulate everything that I just said. I've just been very busy, but you'll get a newsletter probably on Friday. Okay. And so that's what it is. So it's $550 for the materials and it's $600 for the course right now. And take that as an invest, and it is tax deductible because it's seen as a donation. And take that as an investment because once you learn this, you're going to know this for the rest of your life. And let me just look at the camera. Listen, here's the thing, y'all. All of us have this. Your children have this. But how many of us know how it really works? How many of us know how to take it apart? Just the other day, I had a problem with my phone, and it needed cleaning because when I was plugging it in, it wasn't charging, and I'd have to like manipulate the plug for it to actually catch on the battery. And I had to go send it into an iPhone repair shop, and they charged me $60 to repair, and it took the guy 10 minutes. Now, here's the deal: once you learn the inside and out of this phone, taking it apart, putting it back together, you and your family could literally start a business and have your children start a business in repairing phones in the neighborhood, and start listing it on, Facebook, list it on Facebook Marketplace that you fix these phones and, guaranteed fix within an hour or 2 hours, and people pay you. And trust me, your children will learn how to be entrepreneurs from this. And so the $1,100 that you'd be paying, which is tax deductible, becomes an investment for a business that you can do for the rest of your life. So this is so yes. Will the people who pay the $600 get the lower price of the course if it goes down? Yes, you will get the lower price. So if you pay it and then we end up getting enough people, you'll end up getting a refund. So it'll match that the $300. So you'll get the $300 back. Okay. So that's not a problem at all. That was a great question, Marion. Um, so that's what we got going on, and really, what I want to get to is what I call encapsulated AI. Encapsulated AI is robots. And Brother Amobi, could you
Yeah, let me
could
show
you
you
address
guys a
that?
video. First of all, I've designed this robot here. I did this real quickly. Um, it says white label. In our field, white label means someone can, you know, purchase the license from me and put their branding on it. So I kind of pull parts off the shelf in my design to do this one. It's called White Label Hue One, and I also, I'm the kind of man, I grew up in a rainforest, so it's about nature and humans too. So I made it where each joint is a prosthetic. So you see that? So I've designed it where each joint is a prosthetic.
Let me add it to stage. Hold on. There you go.
Yeah, so you can see the joints here. Once you remove that joint, I'll put, I'll have a sort of sensor in there where if they put their joint in there, then they can control the robotics. So um, this is just some of the designs here, and I have a video. I also design many different things. Now, this is what I use. I use my imagination and the AI's knowledge of physics because that's what really holds you back when you're engineering things. So
Hmm.
you're gonna have the once you get that AI, you can do these type of things. Okay, I'm actually
Absolutely.
studying it. I'm actually training it on engineering. I pulled scraped the internet, and I'm training it as we speak on more engineering stuff using my proprietary AI. So that's what I'm doing.
Let me just stop this right here. This is a drone that the brother has built, and
Yes.
let me just look at the people while I talk to them real now. Let me just keep it real with y'all, right? Look, for years, those of us who have learned about the history of our people, wherever we are in the world, we've learned our history and we've learned the abuses that we have suffered. The abuses that we have suffered strictly are because of the lack of technological dominance of our people over other people. You'll find that the people who've been dominating us, they've only been dominating us because they have the technology to do so. Now, there's those of us, we feel like we have different identities, we call ourselves different things, but we're all in the same position. Basically, we are under a regime in an empire that has in a groups of people who have greater technologies than we have, and this has been our problem ever since the Ma'afa, which is our what you call the Black Holocaust. Okay, now listen very carefully to me. You can debate politics, you can debate religion, you can debate history, you can do all of these robust debates that we like to have. But when your enemy got a drone flying above your house and you don't have an answer for that, you don't have a way to jam up the drone, you don't have a drone of your own to attack their drone, this is where the rubber meets the road. And please understand that when it comes to international politics and power amongst groups of people and nations and races of people, um, it is jungle politics out here. What I mean by that is that jungle politics goes strictly like this: can you kick my ass? That's all it boils down to. That's jungle politics. And if you do not have the technical engineering capability amongst your people to defend yourself, this is why Move happens. This is why Tulsa happens. Where and they were actually bombed. We were bombed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Um, Greenwood, Mississippi. These atrocities that has happened to our people is only because the people ruling over us have greater technologies than us. And if we don't decide to change that narrative with our children and make sure that all of our children become engineers, because that's what's necessary, um, we're always going to be complaining. in the form of boycotting, marching, trying to vote our way out of this, trying to preach our way out of this, trying to sing our way out of this, trying to rap our way out of this, trying to poet our way out of this, trying to have a sit in out of this, write books out of this, lecture speeches out of this. No, you're not going to get out of that, because when that drone from your enemies are above your head and you have nothing to do but run, which you won't be able to, you're not going to outrun a drone. You don't even know how to jam the technology. You don't know anything. And it starts with being able to reverse engineer this and move to bigger things. And the brother already builds drones, and we're going to learn, part of the course that we're going to learn is also how to reverse engineer and innovate drones. At some point, there's going to have to be a serious group of people who are dealing with the black box question of what happened to us and what caused our plane to crash. And the only answer is unity and engineering prowess. That's it. You can talk about anything you else want to talk about, but the rubber meets the road when you're able to stop that drone from flying above your house. And if you don't think it's serious, look what happened to Nicolas Maduro. Look what happened to the brother in Grenada, in the Maurice Bishop, a great leader of Grenada, and the United States went ahead and sent two Black Hawk helicopters, and with about 15 Navy SEALs, took over the whole island and overthrew Maurice Bishop because he didn't have the technology. So the bottom line is this, y'all. Either we're going to start being adults and doing what adults do in the moment of being pressed as a people, or we're just going to just lay back and complain and beg to be treated fairly. How's that worked out for us? Okay, so that's just the bottom line, and we're addressing all of that with the classes that we're putting together, and we're linking it with a spiritual endeavor in the church, so you'll be able to get tax deductions and also get closer to the mind of the creator by understanding math, physics, science, engineering, because once you understand these things, you get closer to the mind of the creator, because the creator is responsible for math and science at the highest levels. So that's what we're doing, and this is why this is really a labor of love. The church is not making any money from this, and really, Amobi's time is actually more valuable in terms of what he's involved in than what he'll be getting. He's actually giving a discount for his time. What you're learning is going to be transformative for you and your children for the rest of your lives, y'all. So, we're just going to keep doing this, but let it be said that there is a group of Black folks who were working on solving the problem from a first principles point of view of, okay, our technological and engineering deficiencies got us to be subservient to a group of people. We're going to solve for that. Our disunity got us to be able to be picked apart and exploited. We're going to solve for that. And that's what we're doing at patahset.church. Anybody's welcome to join at any time that they want, man. As long as you are children of the sun, because this is a project that we're focused on in terms of African unity. So if you identify yourself as a Black person, African, this is specifically for us to change the trajectory of our history, to no longer be subservient to groups of people because they have greater technology than us. This has been our problem, and we're going to solve it here at patahset.church. So that's why I was so excited about these drones, because you better learn how to build a drone and the technology of drones and all of that if you're going to talk any type of smack, because your enemies got those drones on deck. They got them on deck. All right, back to Moby.
Yeah, so I have a little video here I wanted to show you guys. Now, this is a quick design. I actually designed everything proprietary. This is an off the shelf robot, but I have another robot that I keep to myself. That's going to be for us. But this is an off the shelf. Designed for prosthetics development, human mobility research, and assistive robotics.
We can't hear the sound of Moby.
Uh, I have it up here. Hold on.
We heard the sound at the beginning, but then it stopped.
Hmm. Okay. Can you hear it now?
No,
Huh.
it was on earlier though.
Yeah, I see an X here. Hold on. Let me see. I don't see this. It doesn't. I played it through. Oh, see. Can you hear it now?
No, not really. But you want to just talk it through?
Okay. Hold on.
Maybe you can just talk it through.
But it's showing, right?
I don't see it anymore.
Okay.
But
So let me present it again.
yeah,
It says some screens may not.
you try to share it again, and
Yeah, I'll try.
someone said in the meantime, where's the site to pay for the class? I will put the link up again. It's pataaset.church. So I'm going to put it up. Remember, it's two-part. You're going to pay for the materials, and then when we ship the materials to you, once you ship them, you get the materials, then you can pay for the course. So we'll do it in two parts. We're doing that just so people, because it's the first time, make sure that you get your products first, and then once you get the products, you pay for the course, and then we just get busy. Okay? So that's Mama Zeke. I'm putting the um, link up right now, pataset.church, and you'll go to the section that says live training. And you can read about everything that we're doing on the website. You can, so just for people to know, while Moby's getting the thing together, this would probably be worth sharing. And so you understand that there's a method to our madness. And Moby, it is up, but let me just run through this real quick, and then we're gonna go right back to a Moby. But you all are looking at this right now. I'm going to take down so you can see. Okay, there. All right. This is the method to our madness, people. And this is all very well thought out. Okay, so you go to pataset.church and it just says discover your path to the divine creator, right? And basically, we're saying that we fuse spirituality with scientific inquiry, guiding you in understanding Creator's mind through ancient wisdom and practical solutions. So, spirituality through engineering solutions and unification. But let's look what we're doing. Spiritual level number one is reverse engineering. So members of the church was going to learn how to reverse engineer just about everything that's important to us in terms of technology. We start with the phone because everyone has a phone and everyone uses a phone. And it makes the most sense, right? And we're going to move to drones. We're going to move to, and eventually we're going to move, in a few years, we should be reverse engineering airplanes. Okay? Now, after you graduate level one of reverse engineering, we move to innovation and improvement. So once you learn how to reverse engineer something, then you can add your own special touches to it because you understand how this thing works. So now you can make it better. Okay. This is actually the Chinese and the Japanese did this for decades where they just reverse engineered, which was just copying the models of what, Europeans and American companies made. And then people laughed at it until they innovated and made it better. So now, even right now, iPhones are manufactured in China, right? So level two is innovation and improvement. Okay, everyone sees that. And then level three is mass manufacturing. So once you've improved on, let's just say, a cell phone that you can make, that we all would be able to make together, we mass manufacture it and sell it into the market. Now we have a business and an industry. We can do the same thing for drones. The first thing is you learn how to reverse engineer it. Then the second thing is you learn how to innovate and improve upon it. And the third thing is that you learn how to mass manufacture it. You sell it into the market. We should have been doing this years ago. All the church spaces that you know how many millions and millions of square miles of churches and mosques that we have, and it's not being used for these purposes to bring us to a place where we're competitive and on top. And so Patah said, our churches are our factories, and our factories are our churches because we're engaged in a spiritual endeavor of engineering. Because what we used is the avatar as Ptah as the god of engineering. If you look at ancient Kemetic, ancient Egyptian theology and mythology, you'll understand what we're saying about Ptah. He's known as the great engineer and creator god that was the one who breathed life into human beings and the one who helped um, mold nature and create, seasons and what have you. Is known as a great engineer. Okay, and so this is what we're doing. Is that the brother says a cult lecture. I always say, why don't churches double it? Well, our church is going to double as an engineering center and a manufacturing factory because that's our spiritual activity. The more we manufacture, the more we engineer, the more spiritually developed we feel. And this is a novel idea, but solves our problems. Okay, so after you finish mass manufacturing in terms of understanding how mass manufacturing works, we move to level 4, which is invention. Now you can create something completely new because you understand 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And when you invent, because you understand mass manufacturing, when you invent, you're going to invent something that can be easily mass manufactured because inventing a prototype is easy, but can that prototype be mass manufactured at scale? That is the question. And a lot of inventors, they actually get bottlenecked because whatever they've invented has so many parts and pieces that, yeah, you can make a prototype, but can you make it something that is cheap for the masses through mass manufacturing? And that becomes a problem because the inventor never learned about mass manufacturing. So we're solving that by making sure that before you become an inventor, you understand reverse engineering, innovation, improvement, and mass manufacturing. So whatever you design will be replicable in a very easy fashion because you already understand mass manufacturing. So now you understand the thinking. The fifth spiritual level is unity as a precondition to resurrection and rebirth. And what we're doing is we are fostering international relationships through business, through personal relationships, through marriages, and whatever. Whenever you had kingdoms that were squabbling with each other, the king would marry a royal woman from another empire, and then that empire would unite because now you have two people from those, different groups that might have had differences. And so what we're doing at Patah Center is that we're saying that, hey, we Black people worldwide, we do not have the luxury to be separated and to be beefing with each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop any of this ethnic chauvinism that people are trying to, whether you be Yoruba versus Igbo or a Khan versus Eve or foundational Black American versus everybody, or what I mean, or Jamaican versus Trini. None of that matters if your parents are one of those. You can't do Jamaica versus Trini if your mother is from Trinidad, right? And so what we're doing is we're actually going to solve the problem of disunity through people having businesses together. Like I have business partners in Kenya or business partners in Tanzania, and so that brings me closer to the country and the culture. And also, we're going to have what I call language therapy so that we can start remembering our languages because we really shouldn't be communicating with each other in our slave master's language. This is facts. Like, let me just be clear with y'all. Like, progress will be seen by us when we are not communicating with each other with the tongue of the person who forced us to speak it through violence, torture, genocide, and what have you. But we're communicating with each other in an Englishman's tongue because the Englishman had the technology to force us to do so through kidnapping, brutality, and what have you. And so if you really want to know who your slave master is, figure out what main language you're speaking in school, because the people educating you are the conquering class, right? And so the fact that I got to speak to y'all in English actually kind of hurts. Like we should be speaking in our indigenous languages to each other. And we really need to have one global language that we all speak that other people don't understand. And if you look at the Israelis, they actually resurrected the Hebrew language. And they used to just speak Yiddish, which is a European language. And they decided they wanted to resurrect Hebrew Now they speak it. So why can't we resurrect ancient Kemet, which was our greatest techno complex civilization, where we should be speaking to each other in our own language? Okay. And this is how we bring each other together. So it's going to be language therapy where, you know, no matter where you are in the world, you should know, you should know how to speak some type of, uh, sorry, I don't know why this is making noise. All right, let me go down. All right, let me start that over. I clicked the shopping cart and it started talking to me. All right. So level 5, y'all, is the unity part, because you cannot graduate to the highest level of number 6 until you actually we've gone through this unity rehabilitation where we don't separate ourselves based on national origin or East Coast, West Coast, North, South, uh, you know, Yardie, Yankee, whatever. No, we got the same problems worldwide, y'all. If you travel, we got the same problems worldwide. We're being dominated by people who don't look like us, who have greater technology than us, and they're dictating literally the lives of ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and our children who aren't even born yet, because they have a system that has forced us to do so. Okay. And all we could do is infight instead of fighting horizontally, instead of fighting vertically. And this allows us to unite horizontally. Level 5. And then level 6 is you become an engineer teacher because you've now learned 1 through 5 and you've engaged in 1 through 5 and have graduated through 1 through 5. Now you give back by becoming a priest engineer or priestess engineer, mathematician, uh, physicist, and all of that. Okay. So this is what we have Church. This is what we'll be doing forever. We will not be stopped. And my goal, and we're not here to debate with you about religion. If you have a certain religious belief, you can still engage in Patastat activities. We're not here to debate with you about religion. We don't care. We're here to do what we're supposed to do because this is what we're supposed to do. Okay, and we have the people, and Brother Moby has been really kind enough to take the gauntlet and answer the call because Amobi could just have decided to go work for some European or some white American company and make $500,000 a year with all the work that he's able to do very quickly. I mean, I call Amobi and I give him an idea, and he already got a draft for me within like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother is a special brother, and those of us we always say, "Oh, we don't have this." That's not true. We have engineers, but they're just working for the wrong people. Some of the top nuclear physicists, some of the top physicists, some of the top people in NASA are black engineers and black physicists. We
Super
have to
facts.
create, yes, we have to create a system where we hire the best of our people and create a world for ourselves that we become a competitive people, y'all. The world is based on competition. If you don't want to know, go watch some documentaries on the development of China and go watch some YouTube videos on what China looks like today. China looks like the future compared to America. A lot of people who've never left America think that America is the best country in the world. America actually has crumbling infrastructure.
Right.
Go
They
to
fucked
China.
up.
Go to China and you're going to see that China is literally 20 to 30 years ahead of America. This is like real facts, y'all. So, yeah, so yes, she says, Kafuni said, I would love to join a positive liberation church. And that's what it is. And it's free to join. Like, we're just talking about for you to actually get initiated through the different levels of our activity. There's cost for the courses because we have high level people taking time off of making money doing what they do to actually give back to the community because at the end of the day, there are those of us who are well educated as lawyers, as doctors, as engineers, and we don't feel right unless we're doing something for our people. There's a lot of us like that, and I talk to doctors, all black doctors all the time who are very disgruntled with the medical industry. They ask me if I can hire them because they want to quit doing what they're doing. I got engineers coming to me all the time who want to quit their job at Lockheed Martin. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd rather help build a world for us, but people got bills. So we got someone like Amobi who is a master level engineer. He already looks like a mad scientist. And and the brother literally has the skills to demand a $500,000 a year paycheck from any of these companies. And he's decided that he wants to be a lion and live off of what he hunts and create liberation for himself and liberation for his people. And so next we'll be having Ken Eccles after we finish this reverse engineering of the phone, and we'll be doing 3D printing so that we could do what? Learn how to 3D print the parts of the phone that we already learned how to reverse engineer and take apart. See how it all works? So this is going to be a beautiful thing, y'all. And the brother says, look at this, Amobi. We need a stable currency of our own. Your mic is off. Unmute your mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have something called AI Forge coming in about 3 weeks. We'll
Yeah.
have our own blockchain.
So
I created
Hanafi,
a blockchain about 3 years ago, but I got kind of spooked with the United States. You know, they had put this black guy in jail for having $50 billion worth of crypto. So that kind of spooked me, you know.
I
So
remember him.
yeah,
Yeah, he
so
had his
I,
own
I know how
story.
to build. I know how to build blockchains.
yep,
I
yep,
already have a plan for it. See, the AI has, and you guys gonna have this, and you're gonna have access to me too, because I'm not the kind of person. I'm very down to earth. I'm from the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm from St. Croix,
Yes, I
you know, and I grew up in the rainforest. I didn't have no TV, so I used to have to use my imagination. You understand?
That's right.
So, and my father, Heru, know my father for 20 years, and I even want to cry because I had to get downloads, and that's why you see my hair look like this. I used to be a pretty boy, got all my hair up, and it started about 4 years ago. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. It started 4 years ago, and I was sitting in the barber chair getting a haircut, and the barber told me, you know, I had the background. My father studied, he read hieroglyphics. So I had the background already. I was sitting in the barber shop, and the barber said the pyramids was built by aliens, and that really hurt my heart. You understand?
Right.
And I called my dad, and he sent me the video on how the pyramids was built, and I give it to him, and he still didn't believe that we built it. And from then, I started to study the pyramids, get back into it, study about resonance and what the pyramids really is about. You always realize all the West's great philosophers and great technologists, what do they study? They study our stuff. So when I started to study it, I started to get downloads, and I started to figure out what all this technology is from us. You know that NASA, they own the inside of the pyramid. They don't let. That's why nobody can go in there.
Mm.
Okay, this is our stuff. That's why it's so easy for us. This stuff is easy for us. It'll just come. What you just need to pay attention to it. Don't let them. Other thing, the reason I built all of this stuff too is the one person that built all this technology. He put his hand up like this, and once he did that, I was watching. I said, okay, he's saving the environment. Once I see him put his hand up on stage like Hitler, I said, "This is the man building the robots." I immediately started to build this robot here because we're gonna need to counteract this stuff, and we only got
Right.
a little window. We got a little window left, so that's why I just been in the lab churning stuff out, and I want to present it to everyone. I want everyone to be part of this.
absolutely. I mean, the brother has built his own blockchain, and I actually am in. So and we're gonna have the brothers on probably in a couple of weeks, but Um, Me and Amobi are in touch with brothers who've already built their
Hmm.
own stable coin, and so we're gonna give people, access to that information as well. And so when you say, brother Hanak Amaru, we need a currency of our own. Guess this is what I get to find out. Every idea that you have in terms of like what you think we need, there is somebody out there who's already doing it that we just don't know about.
You know
We
what's
just don't know
interesting?
about them. Yeah, yeah,
And we
Red
need
Pill.
to have more conversations like this because last year we did a 24-hour marathon and we brought the brothers who built their own stable coin on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And just alone with what we're doing with AI and my course, in Discord with the Imaginarium, with Get Built, with Get Money, with the GitHub repositories, like great minds think alike. But what I'm really listening to, and my mind is going so crazy right now, is the community that I'm building up called Common Unity.
Hmm.
This is exactly what it is that we need, right? The church, the ability to go off grid and get our quote unquote Tony Starks on, to go off grid and learn how to build these drones so we could protect ourselves, reverse engineer, start with the phones, start with the computers, go all the way up into servers and all type of things because now is the time. But yes, these robots, the air drones, the land drones, all of that is needed at this very moment. And yeah, I'm gonna have
See, this is
the
a solar. This is a solar panel here, a solar
yes.
cassette. You see, so I'm building everything, man.
Someone just asked about that, by the way.
Yeah,
I just put it on the screen.
I remember I grew up in the rainforest, so I used to watch in the environment in 1985 after Hurricane Hugo. The water stopped running on the island. I remember that. So I used to think to myself, well, why the water stop running? Why the sand ain't there anymore? It used to be sandy on the beaches. All these things I used to be thinking all this time is it's people destroying the environment. So this is a solar cassette, and you could put it over a regular solar panel. And solar panels, when you get a leaf or anything on the solar panel, it'll cut off that cell, so you lose
Right.
power. So I put a screen on top where it don't, even if a leaf drop on it, it give you at least 28 to 30%, and I know the regular is 24%. So it give you a little more energy from your solar panel, and plus I keep it cool because that'll destroy the solar panel too. So I put heat sink under it. So usually people just sell you the solar panel because they want you to come back and buy it in 5 years. You put this on, and the solar panel will last 10 years, 15, 20 years. Because it's not about consumption and greed. Because when you do that, you're destroying the environment. It takes silicon to make these panels. So, and then I have here, see, I got a solar flower here. This one is mobile. You'll move around if you got trees in a yard.
Hmm.
And I got a solid state battery. All of these things are fully engineered. I just got the AI to run all the CAD drawings. This is the AI you guys gonna have access to. Okay. This is, you see how we created. I made it to, this is a heat sink. This is the back. This goes in your garage, so you can run your whole home.
Like a boiler.
No, this is the actual battery pack,
Okay.
like, like the Tesla wall. And then here I made a catalytic generator. Okay, so you connect this to the solar panels, the generator, and you're off grid. I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I've been here, and you see how my hair grow. I just been here chugging it out because I've been keeping getting these, and I know I was getting it for a reason.
Beautiful. It's all falling into place.
Yes. So you know, I invented printers. I got 3D printers here. Okay, this one is a tabletop. You got what's called a multi extruder where you could use different filaments. Also, I got a whole plan to recycle plastic, so we could take everybody plastic, recycle it, and create stuff. I could recycle any type of plastic. Okay, you got some plastic that can't be recycled. See here, this is a bigger one. I want to do one for a room where we could create boats and ships and everything. Cause that's these. This is the key right here. The 3D printer. So everything is here. Everything is here. You know, ain't about the money. I get phone calls every day. $200 an hour, 250, $300 an hour. See, I created these. These here is like $18,000. They could go 150 miles an hour. The same batteries, the same engine. See, so this, and then the same AI, the same blockchain. Just think about it. Everything is an ecosystem. You buy
Somebody,
this, you go out and you pick somebody up. Eventually, gonna drive itself.
right?
You understand? But I want all of this for us. You know?
Yeah, you got to prototype it out first before it becomes the reality. So this is beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody in the audience wants to know, do you have anything built that you can show live while we're here?
No, I don't have anything right now. I'm in the next 3 weeks. I'm gonna have the arm for Hue One. That's the first thing I'm building
Okay.
because in order to, what I want to do is build the robotics first because I want to teach them to build this stuff. You
Right.
understand? So
Like manufacturing.
yeah, and then everything is manu. And one thing with me, I want everybody to understand. I've had several inventions stolen from me from the West. I used to work in cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity engineer, cloud security engineer. I work in the power plant, WAPA in the Virgin Islands, in telecommunications in the armed forces. So these things are fully designed. Okay, these things are most of them is 3D printed, so it's gonna be very fast. Once I can get like for this here, and it's not that expensive when you're 3D printing stuff, you know. So I'm gonna do the robot first because I need the robot to give me hands to help me, so you could be there every day working on this stuff. This is a cube because this is my specialty. This is what the AI is going to be running on in the data center. Now, with these prototypes, um, I use the AI to because human imagination is very crazy. So I use the AI to deal with the physics and make sure I don't cheat myself. I had several mechanical engineers that looked over the robotic arm, looked over the solar panels. Those are fully. It was very expensive to get them to do the CAD drawings and stuff. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna just get the AI to do it. So that's what the AI does now.
Yes,
So I've been
sir.
working on that the last 3 months. We could just drop the images in, drop what's called an open SCADA design, which is the code for the CAD drawings, and you drop that into my AI, and it produces the actual drawings that you can send to ship out to print or to manufacture, and it's over. So I'm at the point now where everything is adding up, and I just have to drop it in the get the designs. Like I have the whole robot ready to go. I could just send it to get printed right now because I just bought parts off the shelf because that's going to be my first robotics. But here, this is Anubis. This is how the front end of the AI is going to look. Okay, and then I'm going to have this a little small one is going to be on your phone. And then instead of us doing this big data center, we network all the phones and we get as much people on the phones, and then it'll be trained. Everybody will be trained in the AI, and it'll be hours. You don't need no big data center. This is the same thing like the blockchain. So I applied it to the AI, and I have everything already designed. And when I first took my stuff to the engineer, you're like this one here. This is a modular track. When we get back to Africa or Kemet, you need stuff to move stuff. You need stuff to carry stuff. So what I did is design this. It's totally electric, and I got to design a hydraulic system. But you see, I made it where you got different parts. So whatever it needs, you could just put it on. It's modular. This is when we have to clean the land, build homes. This is what I'm thinking about. And here, this is one of my, I was a 31 mic and multi-channel communication operator in the armed forces. So I created a whole, you see, this is where the phone is going to be connected to. So I've created a whole telecommunications. All we need is about a few satellites. And I've created the satellites too, that we can just get off their stuff and communicate amongst ourselves. They even bottleneck the fibers going to Africa. So all of those things that I've been watching for years. So I have everything, I'm building a civilization. That's what I've been doing.
There's a question on the screen there. You wanna answer it?
Okay, I've been watching them with these these AI escaping. Just watch what they use. They use fear. Okay, if your AI escape, it's such a smart AI, everybody jump on their platform. But it's twofold. They should have put a gap, what's called a stop gap, where the AI couldn't touch any other network. But I feel they did it on purpose, and they sent the AI out, escaping their sandbags and hacking enterprises. Yeah, they sent the AI to attack Hugging Face, which is an open source platform again, where you could download AIs, play with them. So it was just so crazy that it ran out over there to attack them. But I have a cybersecurity background. It's all about keeping it in a sandbox, and AI they only do what they took off the guardrails off of that AI too. They were testing it out and stuff, so that's what happened. My AI is gonna have guardrails on it, so, and it's only according to the person who uses it. It's just like a gun or anything else. It's a tool, and who's behind that tool is really what the problem is, But having it on the phone, I'm gonna have it in a sandbox, and it's going to be trained on everything on the phone already. So it's all up to you how you want to use it, but it's going to know how to code. It's going to know how to engineering. It's going to do the chatting, agentic chatting, like Chat GPT. It's already at that point, but I got to distill it down a little so it can work on the cell phone. So that's what I'm working on now, me and this other engineer. But I'll pull this video up for you guys and let you watch this. I think it's working now. Tell me.
This is White Label HU1.
Yes, we hear it.
A legacy humanoid mechanical reference platform designed for prosthetics development, human mobility research, and assistive robotics programs. The platform is designed to be manufactured, assembled, maintained, and used. Every joint, every load path, every interface is deliberate. It is a physical system built for operators and manufacturers, validated through manufacturing simulation and process testing. The platform structure is modular. Head, neck, torso, arms, hands, legs, feet. Each system can be built, serviced, or replaced independently. One of the core design purposes is prosthetics. full-scale human geometry, standardized interfaces. This enables faster iteration, safer trials, and repeatable progress. Designed to perform real tasks in manufacturing, training, and supervised home environments, not demonstration prototypes. This platform exists for teams who value execution. White label HU1. A humanoid foundation.
So I have a company called Vortec Technologies, and
Humanoid robot legs come in many forms.
I've already been offered someone, someone from the West already offered to purchase the company already. But of course, I told them no, just off the designs, you know. So, but in a few weeks, you guys, next time I come on, I'm gonna show you guys the robot arm because I already have that ready to go after the printer. Because I was gonna do Kickstarter, and they didn't accept my video, so I just said I'll just build the arm for now because it costs a couple $1,000s. I'll just build the arm for now, and then I'll do the video for them again and send it to Kickstarter. So I'm planning to do that unless I get some investors or something like that. But that's what I'm planning to do to bring that to fruition. But it's fully designed, and I have mechanical engineers go over all the documents, all the CAD drawings and stuff. So when I first started, I didn't have an engineer access to a mechanical engineer. So once I got access to one, and they went over all the drawings and all the CAD stuff, and they gave me the okay. Right now I'm very confident that everything can come into fruition.
All
Okay.
right. Beautiful, man. So yeah, Omobi, if people want to reach you personally, how can people reach you?
I have a email address, Lightspeed. I'll put it in the chat. It's lightspeedge at gmail.com. You can reach me there. Also, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm Moby Christopher on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You'll see my cloud and my cybersecurity credentials up there. I was involved in the city of Atlanta when they had the ransomware attack. So I brought some equipment there that saved the city. They fought me and fought me and fought me. And 3 months before they got hacked, I had already told them that their credentials was compromised because I found it on the dark web. And we had cleaned up all the servers and everything, but we had one computer down in a fire station far, far away, Windows XP, and they got hacked. And that same equipment that they fought me on saved half the city, or else the whole city would have been wiped out. So I've been doing this, I also invented what's called a security operations center. I pulled some old laptops together. I saw all the security engineers. I was just fixing computers at that point. I saw all the security engineers coming in, and they were asked. My company was asking them to do it. Then I saw this black guy come in, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it for you." And I built it, but they gave the credit to someone else. So
Okay.
so I've always been. This has always been my thing, innovation. So now we only got a little window, so I said, let me step up the pace because if other people get robotics, they could take over the world, and we ain't gonna be able to recover after this.
No, it's real. I mean, there's things that can show people to understand, like where the world is going, and are we going to be caught holding the eight ball again, or wherever that saying is, behind the eight ball again? It makes no sense to repeat cycles of history where we're lagging and we're allowing other people to have greater technology than us, and then what they do with that technology is been seen throughout the years. What they do with the technology, they use it to create a dominant narrative in a dominant world that serves only them, and then everyone else is subservient to them. So I'm about to show you all some things that are happening in the world right now that some of
Also,
y'all may not be familiar with, and then we can start to close the show. That I do want to tend to some other things, but we always like to make the show informative. We covered the forex charts in detail today. I showed you some picks and some things to look for. Those who subscribe to me at herutrades.com, you'll see some forex trades today. Come on there that you'll get a direct email for those who subscribe to me and my trades. Uh, I want you all to look at this, what's going on in the world, and you ask yourself: do you want to be at the receiving end of this, or do you want to be the innovators that can deal with these types of issues? And so let's go here, I believe. Yeah, let's go to this screen here. Okay. Can you all see this? Can you let me know if you can see this?
I can see it.
Yes. This is a drone made in China, smaller than your fingertip. Okay, it's a drone size. It's a mosquito-sized drone, and it weighs 0.3 grams. Okay, this is what they're doing in China. See, please keep in mind the Chinese have not forgotten about the opium wars, y'all. Okay, they're doing what people who are historically in tune do to protect themselves because they understand when the Europeans defeated them in the opium wars, it's only because the Europeans had superior technology. Chinese aren't going to let it happen again. That's how they lost Hong Kong. And today in Hong Kong, you got people, who are actually Christian and have European first names because the British beat them in the opium wars and took the port of Hong Kong. That's what happened. And so people in Hong Kong right now literally think that they are separate from Chinese people because of the British indoctrination. I want to show this. This is a earthquake that hit Japan. I think it was a 8 point something earthquake, and they're showing that based on the engineering in Japan, none of the buildings actually fell apart. None of the roads cracked or anything. And this is a earthquake that hit Japan. Because of the engineering, they solved that problem. You see nothing's falling, none of the buildings are breaking up. You see the wobbling, but the way that they designed the buildings protected them from the seismic activity. This is where we should be moving as a people. Engineering solves all your problems. Okay? The bridge didn't break up, nothing, because of the way that they made these bridges to be able to withstand earthquakes. Okay? Literally is building codes that they follow. Okay? Um, there's more that I can show you all. Right here. This is close combat training with a drone dog.
You always know that they're up to something when you see a lot of confusion in the world. So while we fussing and fighting, this is what they're doing.
Yes. Look at that. Look at that.
Look, Operation Southern Spear.
Mm-hmm.
Operation Southern Spear. That was their AI war in the Caribbean Ocean over Latin America. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was. When you look into Operation Southern Spear, it was a drone war, a land drone, and also a ocean drone, a water drone war.
Mm-hmm.
That's
This
when
is
they
what's
got
happening.
that's when they got Maduro. Maduro was a
Hmm.
part of Operation Southern Spear, where they unveiled
Yes, different technology.
solar,
Yes,
yeah, solar, no,
sonic
Yeah,
sonic
boom
weapons,
technology. Yeah,
yeah.
the
right?
sonic weapons.
They use microwave.
They use the
Yeah,
microwave, right? But the real
Yeah.
target is the Amazon. The target is the Amazon. That's where they're going. That's what they want to take down. They're going to use the robots. They're going to use the
of
technology.
course,
They're trying to snatch the entire Amazon.
of
That's what
course,
Southern Spear was about.
of
The
course.
first, that's like
Now, I
the
want
first phase
y'all.
of it.
So when Moby talks about building robots, please understand these are robots in China doing works of a mechanic, and the robot learns better every single time it does a job. Look at it.
See, the
This is
knowledge is out there. The knowledge is out there. You understand? Everybody's putting the knowledge on the internet, which is a good thing, but eventually it's gonna disappear. So I pulled down everything off the internet. I had the AI scouring the internet for all parts, all materials that they're making. That's all I do. I have like 5 gigs of new materials that the AI have discovered, new crystals.
okay.
Why
This is
why we arguing about FBA and all of that stuff? That's what they're doing.
yeah, they're busy. They're busy creating robots that can do manual labor, so they don't have to work, and the robots will do all the labor. And this is going to displace all of your jobs. You work as a mechanic, anything you do in terms of physical activity, a robot will be able to do the next 5 years. And they're learning how to do it even better. They don't call in sick. They don't ask for an increase in pay. They don't show up late for work. They don't get tired. You don't have to pay insurance for them. So this is a big deal, y'all. And the future is happening right now. The question that we have for ourselves is, are we going to be left behind? That's it. Are we going to continue to be left behind? And I'm just telling you that not under my watch. Not no, we're not going to let that happen. So when we're talking about solutions, that's just one of the things that we put together at Pataset Church is that we understand what's coming, and we also understand that our people are really never going to let religion go or spiritual pursuits go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the gap and give people a roadmap, an alternative for religion and spirituality that actually solves our problems that we're up against since the last 1,000 years, right? Which is technological superiority of those who hate us and lack of unity. Okay. And I'm going to end by saying, and I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to end this. And please understand this. And you're going to have to like really let your children know this. And I'm going to look at you all in the eye. If I can turn on the camera again. Look, um, the bottom line is this, y'all. You can write this down, say it with me, whatever. But the fact is this. Woe unto he, or woe unto those who allow their enemy to have greater technology than them. Woe unto those people. Look at the story of kingdoms, look at the story of nation states, look into the story of wars, and it's always the person who has the greater technology, not the greater numbers, not the most bravery, not the strongest physically. Whoever has the greatest technology is the one who wins the war. Okay? This is just what it is, and there's no way around it, y'all. There's just no way, and I'm not even always talking about physical warfare. I'm talking about economic warfare. The people who can force you to have to go to work, people who force you to have to pay for water, people who are going to force you to pay for air, people who, you know, basically control every aspect of your life, and they're able to do this because those people have greater technology than your people. That's it. So this is what we're gonna keep doing because we're about getting busy and we're about solving these problems. Okay, so Pataset.church, sign up for the classes, shoot us a line at the church, say that you're interested, and this is just what we're doing. We're going to continue doing it. This is going to be multi-generational. Bring your children to the courses. These online courses, which we call church sessions, is going to be transformative. And like I said, everything that you pay to the church is tax deductible. This is one of the first times where we're actually teaching our people to be scientists and engineers, where the money that you're paying for it becomes tax deductible. Okay, so this is it, and then you can learn how to set up a business from the things that we're teaching you. But more importantly, we will have the tools to be able to be a competitive people. Someone has to do it. We just decided that we're going to do it, and I have a crew of some badass engineers. Amobi is one of them, but I got a crew of some other engineers we'll be having on this show, and you're going to see that we are a powerful people when we put our mind to it and decide to unite and decide to have a multi-generational plan that we hand on to our children hand off. The pyramids was not built in one generation, it was multi-generational. So our greatness has to be something that lives beyond us. So this is what we're doing. And to end in what Marcus Garvey said, if we as a people are going to get out of the situation that we're in, we're going to have to become scientists par excellence. There's no way around it, y'all. There's no shortcuts. There's nothing else that we're going to have to do to be competitive. We're not going to wait on the sympathy and the so-called fairness of the people who rule over us, because that's the game plan that we've been doing is, oh, we'll let them beat us and we'll just expose it to the news and the whole world can see, and then they'll feel guilty and they'll be shamed. They have no shame. They have no shame. They don't feel guilt, and they feel like they are ordained to rule the world. And we are just stepping stones. And so it has been like this for about 1,000 years now. We had to deal with it before in ancient Kemet with the Hyksos. We dealt with that, and we have to deal with it again, y'all. So, I end by saying, give thanks, Red Pill. Give thanks, Amobi, for coming to the show. People who want to sign up for the course and just want to be part of what we're doing at Patah Set, go ahead. You can become part of the newsletter. If you can't afford the course, you can be part of the newsletter, let you know what we're up to. And then
This
whenever
was
you're ready to
yeah.
take part in the course, take part in the course, man, because this is spiritual training, because there is no spirituality without the body, and there is no body without being able to defend your body. And the spirit needs a body to attach to. And where's that spirit going to go if we're all extinct?
That's right. This was
Okay?
very healthy. I found my church. I'm going to be bringing you brothers into the common unity. We definitely need to speak to my audience, my network, because the solutions that we are looking for, the solutions that we are here for, are already here. So, once again, my network is my net worth, and we're just building bridges, bringing great minds together, great ideas together. You feel me? And yeah, let's continue to build. You know what I'm saying? And we'll update the family on the progress. This is not just something that you hear about. This is something that you're gonna see and feel.
Yup. And next Monday, y'all, I should be having on live a brother from St. Croix who had the prostate cancer reversal, who had the highest PSA score I've ever seen in a human being, 1,000 plus, and doing our protocol within 4 months. As I showed on Monday, his PSA now is 0.91. And just for those of you all who don't know, anything above a 4 is seen as irregular and a risk for cancer. So you always want to get your PSA below 4. But this brother's PSA was stage 4 prostate cancer, metastasized to other parts of his body. He contacted me in April. On April 1st, I have a text from him saying he needed help. And by August 11th, he did the protocol for 4 months. By August 11th, he got another PSA showing that his PSA is below 1, 0.91. And I'm going to have him on live for him to tell his story on Monday. So if you got anybody with prostate cancer or any types of cancer, Monday is going to be the show for you all to tune in and actually see live and direct a new Herbal Results Cancer Reversal testimonial. And those of y'all who are interested, just go to herbalresults.net for more information. Okay? Again, big up our priest engineer, Omobi Christopher. Big up Red Pill and the foundation that he's delivering. And as you all know, just like he has with his music, Voltron, me, Red Pill, and a couple other, but we're Voltroning to leverage all of our audiences so that everyone gets this information. Whatever Red Pill is doing, that's what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing, that's what Red Pill is doing. We're working together to solve our common problems. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in, y'all. All right. Oh, somebody asked, will the channel share Mango Grow visuals? Yeah, if you want. Yeah, so what I'll do is, all right, next week I will show you all the mango orchard. And I'll go by the trees. I'll go with my phone. I'll show you the different mango trees, the different boutique trees, and I'll tell you the economics of having a mango orchard and how much money you can make and how much they sell for straight from the farm. So yeah, next week we'll do that. So Stan, you asked a question, I will deliver. Next week, you're going to get a full tour of the mango orchard. Okay? All right, y'all. Peace.